go, Chris. Two titans of Speedcubing. Dylan Miller, Luke Griesser. Let's bring you back to San Diego on March 22nd. It was this solve that Chris mentioned earlier in the broadcast, that there was a corner twist there by Dylan Miller. And again, that corner twist was initially to be determined, we thought, by the scrambler, but it was determined that it was Dylan who did the corner twist all along. So basically, Dylan was able to win the match, in other words, and since that, on that redo solve, Luke was pretty adamant about it. So this is a revenge tour in a way for Luke.
Yeah, definitely. Luke has not had good performance in PSL yet, and he did get a bit unlucky there with that controversial call. But now Dylan is going to be starting here for this winners final, and he's going to be starting pretty strongly with a 584.
That's the kind of start that you want there, Chris. Just smooth, calm, and collected is Dylan Miller. And here, pressure set early on Luke Griesser. Again, not the quickest turning, not as quick as Dylan, but you know that Luke can put up some good times here in this one. 12th place overall at Worlds, second in NAC 2024, and he's looking to start off 2026 on the right note. He's working on Yellow Cross here to start. Puts it down with a 434. What a start!
Most of that solve was PLL by the looks of it. I'm pretty sure we had an OLL skip. Let's watch this back. Solving on what looks like Yellow Cross. Yeah, Yellow Cross here. Free pair, OLL skip. And then just poor AUF choices for the G-Perm. Did a U2, had to do a U2 again by the looks of it. But a 4.3, he was on PLL instantly.
Wow. What a start for Luke. Now Dylan back in the driver's seat here. He's going to have to try and make up. And remember, he got a 584 his first solve. That's a respectable time. White cross again here for Dylan Miller. Pretty quick turning through F2L. Last layer with a 540. Nice one from Dylan.
Yeah, much better solve. Looked a lot more confident there. 5.4 is probably around his average, if not a little bit better. Remember, this finals is best of 3, but because we have a double elimination bracket here at PSL Michigan, we are very likely to see the same match ends up winning the first match in the grand finals. They have to do a whole repeat.
12.
Luke Griesser with a 728 solve. We are all tied up at 1 solve apiece going into our 3rd solve.
Technical difficulties, but coming back, it is tied up at 1 solve apiece. So we'll get you that.
And recognized pretty quickly a 422. Both of these competitors with a low 4s in this first set of the winners finals. Let's watch this back. Some pauses in F2L, some lockups, but then look at that. Back fat anti-soon with a U prime AUF, and the solve is done.
Pressure on Luke now. Got to beat a 422. It was a 728 to tie up the solves at 1 apiece. Here goes Luke. Couple rotations. Quick turning here through F2L. Puts it down with a 531. Respectable time, but not enough. Dylan's up 2-1.
Yeah, a great solve. Arguably a better solve than Dylan, just without a PLL skip. So wasn't able to take the win. That puts Dylan on set point. And this match has been lightning fast so far.
It has been lightning fast. This is where the speed gets cranked up here between Dylan and Luke, and it is going to be Dylan here to start things out again. He's up 2-1 over Luke right now. Dylan Miller, of course, one of the co-hosts of the Millisecond podcast with my broadcast partner, Chris Mills. Just finished episode 20, and you can watch that every Friday night on Speedcubing TV. Here goes Dylan Miller for his next solve through F2L there. Puts it down with a 541. Pretty consistent from Dylan.
That F2L was so shaky, but the last layer was the complete opposite. So a 5.4, he's kicking himself because he knows that could have been a much faster time. Look at the lockups here in about the middle of the F2L. So fumbly, but then the OLL PLL is executed flawlessly. so his time is competitive.
6 seconds of inspection time here for Griesser. Big pause, though, trying to finish it off and stops the timer. That's going to be a DNF for Luke. Dylan takes set number 1.
He does not know it by the looks of it. Did the completely wrong ZB. Wasn't even close to solve. Wasn't a U-perm away or anything like that. Took a long time to recognize it, and I think it's an A-perm away by the looks of it. Tries to figure out what went wrong afterwards, but was going to lose the solve anyway. And Dylan, he is up.
The loser of this match will take on Miles Rivas.
Dylan in the driver's seat right now. Remember, folks, if Dylan were to win the entire thing today, he would join Timon Koleshinsky as the only cubers in the PSL to win back-to-back PSL titles. Luke Griesser, you last saw him compete at PSL San Diego, where he was upset by Varun Mohanraj. So this is Luke's first PSL competition in 336 days, and he is trying to get back in this one.
So whoever wins this match goes straight through to the grand final, and whoever loses goes into the lowest final to face Miles, and if they win, it will be a rematch of this finals. But they then have to beat the winner of the winners finals twice. So whoever wins this gives themselves an easier way to win, because they don't have to work twice as hard when we get to that grind finals.
Absolutely well said, Chris. Here goes Luke on his first solve of set number 2 through F2L. Lucky there at the end, 7-11. Luke not happy with that one.
The wrong ZB again. Luke has been learning ZB for the last few years, and he's been divided on whether he should be using it or not. Last year decided to opt to not use it and just go back to OLL PLL before the World Championships and All-Stars. Now seems to be using ZB a little bit more, but then he did it wrong with that Soon case at the end of the last set, and then wrong again with this Pi case in this set. So now surely he's got to be thinking, hey, I should just be doing OLL PLL.
Tough one to swallow there for Luke. Door wide open here for Dylan.
8 seconds.
Has to beat 7-11, well within his wheelhouse here. Yellow cross is the choice for Dylan Miller. Quick turning, still looking to get through F2L. Able to do so. Locky last layer, puts it down with a 749. Luke survives and goes up 1 solve to none.
And Dylan is pissed off with that. Wasn't able to beat the conveniently placed 7-11 from Luke. And yeah, just too many lockups. Knew the time he needed to beat, and that was his downfall. Not a great choice of OLL algorithms. Too many lockups in the G-perm, and wow, he's let that one slip away.
Luke able to get by on that one. Let's see how he can follow this one up. Yellow cross the choice for Griesser. Through F2L quickly. Little Locky last layer, 625.
Back to OLL PLL, but the efficiency wasn't there. A lot of turns. Fist hit the table afterwards because he wasn't happy with it. But 625 could be okay against the Dylan who's failing to beat a 7.
You and Dylan talked on the most recent episode of the Millisecond here, Chris, and he admitted to you his mental game hasn't been where it should be. So going into this competition, I mean, being with, he's already won a PSL title at PSL Seattle back in October of last year. There still is a lot of pressure on him, especially from the community, just because they want to see him do well.
Yeah, Dylan's got a lot of fans behind him, which is great, but it puts a lot of pressure on you as well. Solving much better now, though, but still with some lockups, and he will take that solve, so he's going to be happy he didn't let that one slip too.
Absolutely pretty Locky there, but he squeaks by 0.22 seconds. Able to get through that, and he kind of gave a look that says, ooh, glad I got that one back. So it is tied up at 1 solve apiece. Dylan leads 1-0 over Luke Griesser. Quick inspection time here again from Luke. Takes 8 seconds total, working on yellow cross. Pretty smooth turning, trying to get through F2L. Little bit of a pause there, and puts it down with a 696.
Some last layer mistakes again. It's been plaguing him this entire match. I'm not sure quite what went wrong there. It seemed like he was trying to do OLL CP to avoid a diag PLL, but let's watch the last layer now. Finishes F2L, and then yeah, he does that into back soon, but then he gives himself a U-perm, which is locky, so just a few too many moves, doing like a 3-look OLL almost. And not good, and well, we don't know if it's going to be good enough yet or not, but surely Dylan, he did lose against the 7 earlier in this set though.
Exactly, Chris. Anything can happen here. 696, the time to beat for Dylan Miller. Takes 10 seconds of inspection time. White cross is the choice. Quick turning here from Dylan through F2L. Calmly puts it down with a 5-11. Dylan's up 2-1.
Very standard looking good Dylan Miller solve, turned his way through it like the blue collar Cuba he is, and that puts him on match point already.
Yes, as quick as we started this match, we're already on match point. Luke solving first, so again, Dylan's going to know what he needs to beat, so everything, the pressure is on Luke right now, and even if he loses, this won't be the last time you see Luke, but again, pressure is high right now for Griesser.
8 seconds.
He's going to show us what Dylan needs to beat to take home this match 2-0.
Working on yellow cross here is Griesser through F2L. Working on last layer, 599. Able to get sub 6, but will that be fast enough?
A sub 6 is what Dylan Miller needs to take home this match and progress straight through to the grand finals, with the opportunity to lose the match first and be given a whole rerun because he hasn't lost yet. And you have to be beaten twice in a double elimination bracket to be sent home. So Dylan, match point for him to progress through to the grand finals. All he needs to beat is a 599.
Big deep breath in and out for Dylan Miller, trying to vibe along with the music here, trying to put his mind at ease, and here we go. Dylan wins this solve. He is on to grand finals. Has to beat a 599. Using a lot of inspection time, and here he goes. Locky first start for Dylan. Still has to work through F2L. This isn't going to do it. A 709, and Luke still alive.
And you were talking before how his mental might not quite be there for this tournament, and it hasn't mattered much so far, but then with pressure, match point of 599, a very beatable time. Just the moment he started that solve, you kind of knew it was over. Too many lockups, too many pauses, but he still has another opportunity to win this match 2-0.
Luke has life here in PSL Michigan. Just tied it up, 2 solves apiece, and he's going to have to put down another good time here. 14 seconds total of inspection time for Luke. Working on white cross, little Locky there through F2L. Puts it down though with a 546.
He got bailed out there with that easy back anti-soon last layer. Is that going to be good enough to tie up this match 1-1? Let's watch this solve back. Solving on yellow cross, a long cross solution. Lock up towards the last F2L pair, and then U prime. Only an 8-move last layer, a little bit lucky. Beatable for Dylan, but he's going to have to lock in.
Yes, he is. There's the time to beat on your screen, 546. Dylan, once again, very methodical with his preparation. Big deep breath in, big deep breath out, trying to put his mind at ease. Again, time to beat 546, well within Dylan's wheelhouse here, but you can still see him taking a lot of time trying to calm those nerves.
8 seconds.
A lot of inspection time used up here for Dylan. And here he goes. Yellow cross is the choice. Locky first start again here for Dylan. Not through F2L. It's not going to be there again. A 730. We're tied up at 1 set apiece.
Damn, that does not feel good for Dylan. And remember, the first solve of that set, all he had to beat was a 7. And he wasn't able to do that, and then wasn't able to capitalize on a 2-1 lead. Needed to beat a 599, and then needed to beat a mid-5. And that's when the nerves hit him. Mental wasn't in the right spot to calm himself down before the solve. And he's calling a timeout. Probably a good choice. Take a break. Move on from these mistakes. And compose himself ready for the next set.
No doubt, Chris. A good timeout here from Dylan. Just a rough ending for him. The set not over yet. It's tied up at 1 apiece. But again, probably a good timeout and a wise timeout here for Dylan to try and calm his nerves. Again, his mental game has not quite been there. You can see the nerves coming through and the pressure's getting to him a little bit. Chris, you've been in these situations before as a 15-time national record holder. When it's down to the wire like this, what do you tell yourself in these situations?
Look, you've just got to... Wow, it's a tough one because it means so much to you in these situations. You want to win, you want to break records, but you have to try and convince yourself that, you know what, it's all right. It doesn't matter. You got to try and convince yourself that it doesn't matter, even though you know it does deep down inside of you. And just relax, try and compose yourself, try and relieve as much pressure from your shoulders as you can. Because it's when you're in these high pressure situations, if you let that pressure go to your hands, that's when the lockups happen. Or if you let it go to your head, that's when the pauses happen or the mistakes happen. So it's just composure. That's what matters. Just try and relax as much as you can, lower that heart rate, and get your head in the game.
A lot of competitive fire between these two competitors, Dylan and Luke. Both very competitive, but both just absolutely so good at what they do. And this match was going to be intense right from the get-go, and it is tied up at 1 set apiece. And this is going to be a winner-take-all set. Whoever wins this next set is moving on to the grand finals. And again, whoever loses this, it's not the last you're going to see of them. They would go on to face Miles Rivas in the lower finals, and whoever wins that one, as Chris mentioned, you're going to have to work twice as hard if you're going to try and earn the title of PSL champion, because the winner of the lower finals has the opportunity for a bracket reset. So if the winner of lower finals were to get the first 3 sets done in grand finals, since it's a best of 5, you would be able to reset the bracket and you would have to do it all over again. So in other words, the winner of the lower finals is going to have to win 6 total sets in the grand finals if you want to be crowned PSL champion. That is just, no matter who that is in that spot, that's a tall order for anybody.
Oh, for sure. And I think we have yet to see it happen every time at these PSL competitions. You correct me if I'm wrong, but the winner of the winners final ended up being the winner of the grand final.
That is correct, I believe. We have not had a bracket reset yet this entire inaugural season of the PSL. And shoot, Season 2 of the PSL is just about a little less than a month away. Who knows what Season 2 could bring? But first, we focus on the end of Season 1. Out of the timeout, here goes Dylan Miller on White Cross, trying to calm his nerves. Much quicker turning, working through last layer right now. A 6:05, so just over 6 seconds. Maybe not what Miller's looking for in the first solve.
Looking better, but still not great. Seemed like the timer stop was a little bit slow there with the 4-pad mode. I don't think he's been practicing much with 4-pad recently, as he's been to more WCA competitions than PSL recently. Yeah, look, a little bit fumbled there. Hopefully that isn't going to be the deciding factor in this solve, but Luke only has to beat a 6:05 to go up in this final set.
Here goes Luke. White Cross is the choice. Smooth turning here through F2L. Did a different move, looks like, able to put it down with a 598. Luke takes solve 1 by 0.07 of a second.
It will be 1-0 going into our second solve.
That timer stop was the deciding factor.
3 solves in this set will win the match.
Finally managed to pull off an anti-soon ZB on that solve.
Good to see Luke pleased with that one. He's up early, 1-0 in this winner moving on set. The winner of this moves on to the grand finals. Dylan solving first, so again, Luke will know what he has to beat when Miller's done. Here goes Dylan on White Cross. Quick turning through F2L. Quicker last layer. Maybe made a split-second decision, but still a 557.
Looking better. 557 with a Y palm. A very long PLL executed pretty well. Fingers crossed from Dylan, hoping that's going to be good enough to equal out this set.
Pressure's back on Luke now. He's up 1-0. And Chris mentioned got to beat a 557.
8 seconds.
We certainly know Luke is capable. Does he have to pull out something good here? White Cross is the choice for Luke. Quickly through F2L. Last layer, 479! He's up 2-0!
A good reaction from Luke Griesser. Very warranted for a wonderful solve. Turned his way through that against the blue collar Cuba himself. Let's watch this back. White Cross, well planned first pair. A well executed OLL PLL. That's incredible.
What an answer from Luke. He's up 2-0. He's in the driver's seat for this winner finals.
8 seconds.
Again, pressure back on Dylan here. Using a lot of inspection time. 12 seconds total. Here he goes on Yellow Cross. Little hesitant there on the first layer. Getting through F2L. A 630. The door could be open for Luke.
That was a +2 again though, so that's an 830.
It was. You're right. I didn't even see that.
Luke will need
Oh my goodness.
8.29 seconds solve or better to win the match.
Dylan so disappointed with that. Just nerves too high. 6.3 might have been okay to take the match, but then the +2 on the D move. Oh, that's brutal.
12.
Wow. 8:30, the time to beat for Luke. He's been waiting for this for 336 days. Can he get to winners finals? Fumbles the cube, puts it down with a 715. Disaster averted, and Luke is on to grand finals.
Oh, just brutal if you're Dylan Miller to lose out a match like that. He is not happy at all. He had such a good opportunity to take it out 2-0, and then just solving first, he wasn't able to put down the times he needed to put the pressure on Luke. And all respect to Luke Griesser though, that 4 on the second solve in the final to put him up 2-0 to really put the pressure on Dylan, that was incredible. Probably the best solve we've seen in this competition so far. Not the fastest, but definitely the best.